rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to accept tonight's agenda, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And before we move into our program, I just want to note that Dr. Harrison apologizes for not being here this evening. He is ill, and as you can tell, so is part of our board, who are also homesick, so hence the smaller crowd up here than usual, but a larger crowd in the audience, which we always love. So with that, we'll move on to the recognition of the Main Street School Spelling Bee winners and runners-up. Ms. Chapnick, please.
Good evening, everybody. Members of the Board of Education, Ms. Stein, Ms. Ellis, nice to see you up there. Welcome. So I have the absolute pleasure of sharing with you the results of the 13th Annual Main Street School Spelling Bee, which was held on January 10th. So for those of you who don't know, the way our spelling bee works is there is a written pre-bee that all students in the school are invited to take. This year we had 83 fourth graders take the pre-bee and 55 fifth graders. And of that, 21 students surfaced as finalists in both fourth and fifth grade. And then on January 10th, our finalists compete in a bee in front of their entire class. So all fourth graders watch the fourth grade bee and fifth graders watch the fifth grade bee, and then invited guests, families of the finalists. It is unbelievable to watch the students get up there on stage in front of all of their peers, be given words that they have no idea what is coming towards them. Only round 1 and round 2 in fourth grade come from a list that they've previously received, and for fifth grade, round 1 words do. But all of the other words are sight unseen, and they stand up there with such poise and grace, and it is so inspiring to watch them. I could never do it myself, so when I watch them, I think, wow, you should be so proud of yourselves for everything you accomplished, just participating in the bee, in the written bee as finalists, and then to come away as a runner-up and a winner is tremendous. So for the fourth grade, our first runner-up after 9 rounds was Layla DaCosta. So Layla, you're going to come on up, and you're going to shake everybody's hand and be recognized by the board.
Congratulations. I have that for you.
Congratulations. It's a great accomplishment.
And our fourth grade winner was Abby Spees. So Abby, come on up.
Congratulations. Well done. That's for you.
Congratulations. That's very good.
And our fifth grader runner-up was Una Brandon.
Well done.
Congratulations. There you are. Welcome.
Congratulations. Great job.
And our fifth grade winner was Zoe Lang. And I should mention that Zoe was also our fourth grade spelling bee winner as a fourth grader. So she is
So you're
a
familiar with this
two-time
process.
spelling bee winner.
A double accomplishment.
It's a big accomplishment. I want to thank the PTSA for supporting the spelling bee for the last 13 years. We couldn't do it without them. And I also want to say that this year the Irvington Spelling Bee is back. I don't know if everybody knows that, but the town bee is back. And our students are invited to participate to support the teams that are coming. If you haven't heard from them yet, you will hear from the spelling bee people. And I hope that you'll get to attend that event and be part of the in-town spelling bee experience also. So thank you so much.
Next, we'll move on to our middle school geography B, Mr. Sotile.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to be here to speak about our Geography Bee tonight. Geography Bee was in its 12th year at Irvington Middle School this year. So for 12 years, our students have taken a written test. Every student in the middle school, grades 6 through 8, takes a written test that is generated by National Geographic. That's done in November, and it's supported by our social studies department, who are really instrumental in making sure that this whole event takes place. And from that, we take winners from each grade level, and we create a panel of 10 finalists. I want to start by saying, just to get onto the stage and be one of the 10 finalists, this year was probably the most competitive year in terms of what it took to get there. I would say that nobody on a 70-question written test got more than 3 questions incorrect in the entire group. We actually had to have a tiebreaker, which I'm going to get to in just a second, in one of our grade levels for the last finalist spot. So really incredibly competitive. Students that have been able to even be on the stage in past years didn't quite make it this year. It was really tight, and so we're certainly proud of our kids and their work that they did there. Progress to January the 17th, where we have our 10 finalists on stage, and again, supported by our social studies department in so many different ways. We had students go through a final round competition, again, under the rules of National Geographic, where students are given a series of oral questions, each student getting a different question. Some questions are given in common to all students based on an image, based on a map, and so forth, eventually getting us down to 2 finalists. And once you get 2 questions wrong as a finalist, you are eliminated from the competition. So we end up with 2 finalists remaining for our championship round. And I think for only the second time in the time that I've been at Irvington Middle School, we actually got through the championship round and had to go to a tiebreaker. But for the first time ever, we had to go beyond the first tiebreaker question. We had to go through all 6 tiebreaker questions, and then we had to go back into the backup list of questions. It was a total, I think, of 8 tiebreaker questions before we finally got a winner. This was by far the most competitive bee we've ever had, and so we were incredibly proud, really, of all of our students, and certainly of our 2 finalists, our runner-up and our winner. Really incredible work. So back to that comment I made about the tiebreaker, I wanted to start by introducing our runner-up this year. Our runner-up got into the finalist as a tiebreaker, into the final as a tiebreaker, won the tiebreaker, and then went all the way on to be the runner-up in our most competitive bee ever, and that is 8th grader Noah Trin.
Congratulations, well done.
Congratulations, Noah.
Well done. Let's do it.
Wonderful. My dad.
And this year's IMS champion, 7th grader, and last year's runner-up, Mohan Desai.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Tremendous. Look at Mom.
So we're very proud of Mohan, very proud of Noah, very proud of all of our students who took part. Really a big round of applause. And before I step aside, I just want to say we'll be looking forward to the results of the online next exam that has to be taken, because that will determine whether or not our winner goes on to compete at the state level. So we're more to come on that. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you. So at this point, we have the opportunity for comment from members of the community, if there's any comments on any topics that appear on the agenda. Okay. Seeing no comments, we'll next move to item 8, which is policy first read. I have a suggestion, given that we are without our full complement, as well as Dr. Harrison, that we table discussion of the policies for now, but that anyone who has questions, if they haven't already done so, send them into the policy committee so they can try to be addressed at that level. Then we can have further discussion at a subsequent meeting with both Dr. Harrison and the rest of the board on the policies. Does that work for everyone?
I think that works, although I do think that there are a lot of questions about 4810. But I don't think we can deal with them now.
Right, I don't think, exactly, I think
But I
it's
think
best to
because
wait,
You can expect that.
yeah.
Mary's a little too new. You can't do that to Mary right now.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So now we'll move on to item
Thank you, everyone.
9.1, which is our consent agenda. Can I get, first, before we do, are there any questions about anything that appears on the consent agenda?
1 second, please. Erin, I think you had a question about 11.3? The field trip? No.
No. I don't
Just
believe so.
No, nothing.
Then, can we have a motion to,
I did have a question, just do we approve this without any note about how much they actually cost? It's just approving it sort of in theory?
Well, as per
11.3.
policy, we just have to approve the trip.
the trip? We don't,
Oh, right,
we
that's
just
right,
approve the
okay.
trip
Yep.
itself.
Okay. Yep, all right.
So, can we get a motion to accept tonight's consent agenda?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, want to recognize some donations. We thank the IEF for their support of the Red Trunk Project, the Destination Imagination Global Finals, and the Meditation Lab. And we thank the PTSA for their grants regarding the Joyful Nooks, the Living Learning Wall, Etch-a-Sketch Art, flexible seating in the art room, supporting our students with stress and anxiety, and the AV recording package. We thank our wonderful partners for all of their support. Our next meeting will be here on February 11th. And with that, can we get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pick one. It was all three of them simultaneously. Thank you.
Thank you. That is a historic